This video will cover the roles table. When you're documenting your processes, the roles that we assign an activity to, the roles table is what populates the drop-down list that you can pick from and that you can search from. When you're documenting your processes, the roles you assign an activity to is what creates the swim lanes that form the process maps for your documented procedures. In order to create and edit roles, you'll want to go to the Admin dropdown and locate the roles on the menu. Once selected, it will open up this table. From this table, you'll be able to create and edit existing roles, create new roles, and also assign users to a role. Now, one of the powerful things that we can do by assigning users to roles is it will populate a list for that user based on any role that's been assigned to them and any process where that role has been assigned to an activity. So this is a way where if we document our processes and also assign our staff, bringing them into Process Manager, they will actually have a list of all the processes that your department has documented. Now, this is also one of the reasons that we use a naming convention that has a departmental prefix. You'll see here that, as an example, Berkeley Public Health, all of the roles that they've created start with BPH colon. The Business Process Management Office uses BPMO colon, and the Berkeley Regional Services use BRS colon. So please check before creating any roles within your department to see what your departmental prefix is. And if you are a new department, work with other content creators to come to a consensus around a new departmental prefix that you'll be using for any of the roles that you create and edit. One of the reasons that we use this departmental prefix is to be able to nuance some of the roles that may live in different departments. As an example, a buyer. We could have buyers in supply chain management, BRS, and other departments throughout the campus. So that drop-down list that would populate for a user, if we didn't have these different departmental prefixes, would actually have a list that would be populated by procedures documented in other departments that would not be related to their actual job. So by using this department prefix in the naming of any roles that you create, it separates the roles that you have responsibility for from other users. Again, this is a shared table. And it also makes sure that when we do actually get to the point where your department is associating users with roles, that the content that's in their list will be actually useful and specific to them. Right. Now, some of the things that you can do in the role table. So with your permissions, you'll be able to create new roles and edit existing ones. Before you create a new role, do check to make sure that one has not already been created. This magnifying glass is a search bar that's specific to the roles table. You'll see it's different than the search up here, which would be where you would go to search for processes and documents. So I'm going to search for manager and just see what comes up. So if you had a term that you're looking for, you could look for that term and then look for the department prefix that you're using. So you can use a filter here. So for instance, you can see right now I'm on all. If I wanted to go just to one particular group or one section, I would be able to filter it by that and return to the all list by hitting the all there. I could also remove what I'm currently searching for by hitting the X on the search bar. All right, so let's just say you've gone through, you've searched, and you realize, okay, there is a role that needs to be created for you or other users in your department. To create your process documentation. This Add Roles or Responsibility button is the button you'll click to create a new role. The fields that pop up, this is the name of the role that you will document. Again, remember, whatever you start, you're going to want to include a departmental prefix based on your department. There is a field here that lets you document the cost for that role. You can leave it blank. This would be if you get to the point where you're documenting active and wait time of a process. It will calculate based on how much time you say a particular role is spending on a process. It will help you calculate a cost related to the salary and benefit costs for that particular process. This is where we can assign individuals to that role that we're creating, or if you edit an existing role, you'd be able to go here to assign individuals. These are only going to list individuals who have a process manager profile. So if you want to bring staff in from your department who currently do not have a profile, please just submit a request for them to, get added to process manager. The default variations you can leave blank. Once you are ready to save, you will just click the save icon, which I'll not do for this example, and I'm going to cancel out. So that's how you create a new role. To edit an existing role, I'm going to go ahead and go to one of the ones for my department, and just as a best practice, remember, this is a shared environment, so please only edit content that you have in your department. So to edit an existing role, these three dots you'll see on the right-hand side, if you click those, it will bring up a pop-up menu. It'll ask you if you want to edit or merge the role. Edit will just basically bring up that record and let you change the values. Now, if you change the name of a process, one of the great things about how Process Manager is structured is wherever you've used this role, and when you rename it, it will still have this role assigned to the activities. It will update with the new name that you've created. You can also add additional users here, and if you come through later on and document your costs, you can add it to the role record. Once you've made your changes, you can hit the save icon, and that is how you update a role. Now, let's say somebody had created a duplicate role and you wanted to get rid of that one of the duplicates and merge them together, or perhaps you had a reorganization and a role's responsibilities are being absorbed by another one. Rather than going into all your process maps and editing each of them, you can actually merge one role into another. And that's what this second option is under the edit. So once you click that, it's going to bring up a search dialog box where you'll basically search for what role you want to merge this one into. So the one you do this action from is the one that's going to go away. And it's going to give you an idea of here's all the processes where that role is currently used. So you go through, find the role that you want to merge it into, and press OK when you're done. This is an activity that is not easy to roll back. We'd have to roll back the entire table. So if you have any questions about this, please contact the Business Process Management Office and we can work with you and help give you guidance. Thank you for viewing this training on the roles table. If you have any questions related to roles or anything within Process Manager, please feel free to reach out to the Business Process Management Office and utilize our office hours as needed.